are back for another Talk About It Tuesday, and I have an interesting question. What is the best use of my time during the COVID-19 crisis? And interesting to me because initially I wasn't even going to answer that question. I was like, what kind of question is that? And then it dawned on me. Most adults are not used to having free time. Most adults are not in control of their time. If you have a job or if you go to school, someone tells you what time you need to wake up in the morning, how long you need to travel, what time you need to start, what your workflow is, what your priorities are, when you can have lunch, when you can get a break, and what time you can go home. Most people are not used to controlling their own time. So this sudden time that they have, they don't know what to do with it, looking for someone to tell them what to do. And I've been financially free so long, I forgot what it was like. But this is good because when you become financially free, this is what your world is like in terms of the time element. You suddenly have this huge amount of time that you never had before, and you have to find a way to fill it. Minus the money part, right? Financial freedom, you have the money to do what you choose to do. But I'm going to talk about some really inexpensive or no cost things that you should be doing right now to fill your time. Number one, you should be reconnecting with family and friends that you have not had the time to connect with. It doesn't mean you have to see them face to face, but you absolutely, positively can reconnect by phone, by FaceTime, whatever it is. As a matter of fact, my family has had 2 family reunions by Zoom over the past couple of weeks. Now, I have to admit, I missed both of them, but my family has had family reunions from family from out of the country, in the country, all over the United States, have been able to come together for a few hours and enjoy themselves, through Zoom. So the technology exists. You have the time. Just use it. And I have to admit, I have heard from people that I haven't heard from in years. So reconnect, that's number one. Number two, use this time for self-development. And what do I mean? A lot of you have been saying that you want to get in shape. Well, now's the time to get in shape. You always claim you don't have time to exercise. Exercise. Again, it doesn't have to be something you do alone. My wife and her sister get on the phone and they video work out together every day. It's an opportunity for you to create the habits. They say it takes, 21 days to create a habit? Well, it's been more than 21 days. Use this time to set a new pattern, right? And so you can get yourself in shape. And it doesn't have to be something crazy. Just start sweating. Do something. There are plenty of free YouTube videos. There are plenty of classes that people are offering, or even on Facebook that are free if you need the group thing. But start getting your body back in shape. Number three, get your brain in shape. Of course, you can read. You can do classes. edx.org are free classes given by universities from all over the globe. It's an opportunity for you to take these free classes and, really expand your knowledge base. Again, you have time to read audiobooks now. If those of you who have gotten out of the habit of actually reading a book. So it's a time to expand your knowledge base. Anything you want to learn about, now you have the opportunity. Those 8 hours or 10, 12 hours you would have dedicated to working for someone else, you can work on yourself. What else? Number four, all those do-it-yourself projects, all the things that you said you were going to do as soon as you had time. I'm going to get some of you in trouble because you committed to fixing things. Time to fix those things. Fix things, projects, things you wanted to build. It's an opportunity to do that, get that done. And the fifth and final thing that you can do, which I think is extremely important, is work on your financial freedom plan. You've been talking about being financially free for the longest, but you haven't had the time to sit down and, number one, contemplate what it looks like. What does financial freedom look like to you? What would you do with your time? How do you want to live? Where do you want to live? What type of things do you want to do? You really get an idea. Sit down and contemplate that. Go to a quiet corner in your house and just contemplate what it looks like for you. Once you've done that, you need to think about the vehicles that you will use to create passive income, whether it's business, whether it's dividend income, whether it's interest income, whether it's rental income, and really think about that. So if you're thinking about creating portfolio income through stocks, whatever it's something in the stock market, now's a good time to study up on the fundamentals of investing and then test it out with just paper trading. Now is a good time to learn the fundamentals of business. You don't have to study the market so much, but the fundamentals. What's the right business structure? What are the four business systems that exist in any business, and how do they function? The real fundamental stuff, the bookkeeping aspects of it. The things that are not as exciting that you would try to learn in a class somewhere else, or take a class, but the real raw fundamentals of what makes the business operate. Same thing with real estate. What are the fundamentals of it? So if you're going to be a landlord, what does it mean to manage a property? Of course, all the formulas for acquiring a property, what's a good deal, how do you negotiate, all the fundamentals that you would need for real estate. So now was, again, that perfect opportunity with no excuse in terms of time. No excuse because most of these things that I mentioned are zero cost. Take the time, that 8 hours, that 10 hours, that 12 hours, and fill it with things that will enhance your life and give you a small taste of what financial freedom feels like. So hopefully that answered your question. Keep the questions coming, and I'll see you next Tuesday.